I recently got the chance to ask the Grimworks developers some questions, and their answers gave us some really interesting information about the game. The Q&A lasted for almost 2 hours, and I managed to get 5 of my own questions answered. We talked about some important gameplay questions, like generator camping and future objectives. I also asked about the game's currency and the story behind the leader's Splinks skin. And there was a pretty funny moment during the Q&A. Think Noodles joined and said "mod me" 3 times, which was absolutely hilarious. And now he's actually in the Discord server. Anyways, here's everything they told me. First, I wanted to know what the developers think makes Grimworks different from all the other FNAF ASIMs. I was especially curious to hear how they see the game compared to everything else that's currently being made. So I asked, what do you think makes Grimworks stand out amongst all the other FNAF ASIMs? This is what they said.
Good question here. What do you think makes you stand out from other FNAF ASIMs? I feel like it's the actual horror FNAF aspect. We're adding things from FNAF, such as the power and vents and doors, as like actual strategies.
Next, I wanted to ask about something that could become a problem during power outages. If killers can prevent survivors from repairing the generators, how will the game deal with the killers simply camping them? So I asked, how will you figure out killers camping the generators when there is a power outage? This was their response.
How will you figure out killers camping the generators when there's a power outage? Okay, so when there's a power outage, only one generator needs to be fixed out of the 4 that we have set down.
The thing is, one person needs to do all 3 parts. So that's very important. So if the attraction is camping one side, then someone else is going to get it done. And in a situation where it's LMS, the power just forces itself back on, so there's no need to worry about, oh, what if I'm last man and he's camping it? No need. And if you're curious, LMS, 1 minute 30 seconds, 4:30 goes to 6 always.
I also wanted to know more about the leader's skin, Splinks. The skin already has a pretty unique look, so I was curious about what inspired the developers to create it. So I asked, what was the idea behind when making the Splinks skin for the leader? Is it just from a meme? They answered with,
oh, what was the idea behind making the Splinks skin for the leader?
I don't know if people know. I'm a big Gmod guy. People probably know me from Gen Toys videos, or either my own. I don't know, I've been in the community for a long time. I was like, hey, you should add that because that's really iconic to the FNAF community, source filmmaker community, Gmod community, all of it. It just makes sense to have it here.
I kind of want to show off the Splinks UI, Splinks killer UI. We should do that.
Sure, yeah.
Here's a look at our killer UI for Splinks. Every single killer and skin will get its own type of UI. And so leader's UI is red and blue. Splinks UI references towards MLG.
MLG.
Sorry, my mind blanked.
out of curiosity, I also wanted to know more about the game's economy, especially what the currency will be called. So I asked, what is the currency in-game? The developers responded with...
Let's see. What is the currency system used? Probably, I think we call them Grim coins, because like Faz coins, Grim coins, you know.
It might be changed in the future. We don't know yet.
And finally, I wanted to know more about the game's objectives and whether generators will always be the main way for survivors to progress through a round. With the game still in development, I was curious if we could eventually see more objectives added to make each match more varied. So I asked, will the game have different objectives in the round in the future, including the generators, or will the generators stay only? Their answer was...
Will the game have different objectives in the round? Yes, so you have tasks that are optional that you can do as a survivor during the round. And you have the generators during blackout. You fix the generator and the power comes back on.
Before we end, there's actually one more answer from the Q&A that I thought was worth mentioning. Someone asked the developers how survivor abilities will work in Grimworks. Here's what they said.
Let's just find another question.
I keep seeing someone say, can you show us any of the survivors' abilities? The survivors don't have abilities, they have perks. It's not like DBD perks where it's anything crazy. For example, let me just read out one of the perks. Every perk has a benefit and a drawback. So, for example, one of them is called Reinforced. 15 more health, -5 max stamina. It's simple stuff like that. And medic, revive and heal 20% faster. After reviving somebody, you're 20% slower for 10 seconds. I mean, none of this is final, but that is just the idea.
And that's everything from the 5 questions I managed to ask during the Grimworks Q&A. Honestly, we got some pretty cool insights, and I'm really excited to see how these features turn out once the game releases. Which of their answers surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below, and if you want to stay updated on Grimworks, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching and stay safe.